Single dad worked hard every day at the garage to feed his daughter. One phone call changed everything. A dangerous criminal kidnapped the FBI officer's daughter. He had only one choice. He walked into the warehouse alone. 2 bullets hit him while he saved that innocent girl. What happened after this heroic act shocked the entire world and left millions crying and speechless forever. Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. Marcus Williams was a single father. He worked at the garage every single day. He fixed cars from morning until night. His hands were always dirty with grease and oil. His back hurt from bending over engines all day long. But Marcus never complained because he had a reason to work so hard. He had a daughter. Her name was Sophie, and she was the most important thing in his life. Sophie was 12 years old. She had her father's kind eyes and her mother's sweet smile. But she would never see her mother again. Marcus's wife died 5 years ago in a terrible car accident. Since that sad day, Marcus became both mother and father to little Sophie. He worked double shifts at the garage. He packed her lunch for school every morning. He helped with her homework every night. He attended every school event. He was there for every birthday and every sad day. Life was not easy for them. They lived in a small apartment near the railroad tracks. The walls were thin and old. The carpet was worn and gray. The heating system was broken in winter. In summer, there was no air conditioning. They had very little money. But Marcus always smiled for Sophie. He told her stories. He cooked her favorite meals even when money was tight. He saved every penny so Sophie could have what she needed. Marcus never dated anyone after his wife died. He said his heart belonged only to Sophie now. His friends told him he needed to live his own life. His sister kept trying to set him up with women from her office. But Marcus would just shake his head and say that Sophie was enough for him. She was his whole world. She was his reason to wake up every morning. Every evening, Marcus and Sophie would sit on their small balcony. They would watch the sunset together. Marcus would tell Sophie about his dreams for her future. He wanted her to go to a good college. He wanted her to become someone important. He wanted her to have the life that he never had. He wanted her to be happy and safe and loved. It was a Tuesday afternoon when everything changed. Marcus was working at the garage. His boss had given him an extra shift. He needed the money because Sophie's school trip was coming up soon. Sophie was at school. She was supposed to go straight home after classes ended. Their neighbor, old Mrs. Chen, would let her into their apartment. Mrs. Chen was like a grandmother to Sophie. She gave her cookies and watched her until Marcus came home. The day was normal and ordinary. Nothing seemed different or wrong. Marcus was working on a broken transmission when his phone rang. It was a number he did not recognize. He answered it with some worry because usually only his boss or family called him. "Is this Marcus Williams?" a serious voice asked. "Yes, this is Marcus," he said. His heart suddenly started beating fast with fear. "Mr. Williams, this is FBI agent Sarah Mitchell. I need to talk to you about something very important. This involves your daughter, Sophie. This is a life or death situation." Marcus's whole body froze. His hands dropped the wrench he was holding. It fell to the ground with a loud noise. The FBI. His daughter. What was happening? His mind started racing with terrible thoughts. Had something happened to Sophie? Was she hurt? Was she in trouble? Was she kidnapped? What is it? What happened to my daughter? Marcus asked. His voice was shaking badly. "Mr. Williams, please stay calm. Your daughter is safe right now. But I need to explain something to you. There is a man named Viktor Petrov. He is a very dangerous criminal. We have been looking for him for many years. 2 hours ago, Viktor Petrov kidnapped my daughter from the street near her school. He did this to get revenge on me because I have been hunting him for a very long time. Marcus did not understand what this meant. What did this criminal have to do with his Sophie? Agent Mitchell continued speaking in a serious voice. The kidnapper made a call to me. He said he wants to make a trade. He wants my daughter back safely. But to do this, he wants something from me in return. What does he want? Marcus asked with fear. He wants information about a case. He wants to know where we are keeping evidence against him. This evidence will put him in prison for many years. He threatened to hurt my daughter if I do not give him this information. But I cannot do that, Mr. Williams. If I give him this information, he will escape and hurt more people. He will hurt more innocent children. Marcus listened carefully. He was confused but also starting to understand something terrible was happening. Agent Mitchell said, the kidnapper also said something very strange and cruel. He said if I do not meet his demands, he will hurt my daughter in a very bad way. He said he will do this in front of your daughter. He said he will do this at an old warehouse on Miller Street. He said this will teach me a lesson about what happens when you mess with him. But my Sophie, why would he involve my Sophie in this? Marcus asked with deep fear in his voice. His hands were shaking. Because he is a cruel man, Mr. Williams. He wants to hurt as many people as possible. He wants me to feel maximum pain and suffering. He thinks that if my daughter is hurt in front of another child, it will break my spirit and I will give him everything he wants. Marcus put his hand on his chest. He could feel his heart pounding like a drum. He felt sick. He felt angry. He felt scared all at the same time. This was the worst day of his life. Agent Mitchell said, I am telling you this because I need your help and your trust. I need to know if you will allow me to keep your daughter close to you and protect her. I am going to have FBI agents follow you and Sophie everywhere you go. We will protect her with our lives. And Mr. Williams, I promise you with all my heart, we will catch this man. We will not let him hurt anyone. Tell me what I need to do, Marcus said. He knew at that moment that his life had just changed forever. He would do anything to protect his Sophie. That evening, Marcus picked up Sophie from school. She could see that something was very wrong with him. His face was pale and white. His hands were trembling and shaking. But when Sophie asked him what was wrong, Marcus smiled and said everything was fine. He did not want to scare her. FBI agents came to their apartment that night. Many agents. There were agents outside their building. There were agents in the hallway. Agent Sarah Mitchell came personally. She was a tall woman with serious dark eyes. She looked strong and brave. She told Marcus and Sophie that there was a criminal who was very dangerous. She said that for safety, they would have FBI agents watching their home. She tried to explain it in a way that would not scare Sophie too much. But Sophie was a smart girl. She knew something serious was happening. Sophie held her father's hand tightly. She did not want to let go. Marcus held her close to him. He whispered in her ear, I will protect you, Sophie. I will always protect you. No matter what happens. 2 days passed. Marcus lived every moment in fear and worry. He kept Sophie close to him all the time. He did not let her go to school. He did not let her play outside or go to the park. He watched her like a hawk watches a mouse. He was terrified that something would happen to her. On the third night, Agent Mitchell came back to their apartment. She had new information that was very serious. She said the kidnapper had made another call to her. He had told the FBI where he would be. He said he had Agent Mitchell's daughter in an old warehouse on the edge of town. He said he would let her go, but only if Agent Mitchell came alone at midnight. He said if she brought anyone with her, he would hurt both his daughter and Sophie. He said he was watching them. He said he knew everything. Marcus felt cold when he heard this. The criminal knew Sophie's name. The criminal was watching them. The criminal knew everything about their lives. Marcus's fear grew even bigger. Agent Mitchell looked at Marcus with sadness in her eyes. She sat down on his couch. She said, "I know this is asking too much. I know this is unfair to you. But I need to go to that warehouse. I need to try to save my daughter. I need you to understand something, Marcus. I am a mother first, before I am an FBI agent. I understand what it means to love a child more than your own life. I understand what you would do to protect Sophie." Marcus nodded. He did understand. He understood completely. "There will be agents hidden all around that warehouse," Agent Mitchell said. "We will move in as soon as we can see the situation. We will try to catch Viktor Petrov. We will try to save both my daughter and keep Sophie safe." "And if something goes wrong?" Marcus asked quietly. Agent Mitchell did not answer right away. She looked down at her hands. Then she said, "Then we will do everything we can to protect the children. That is my promise to you." The plan was that Agent Mitchell would go to the warehouse at midnight. She would go alone as the criminal demanded. Marcus and Sophie would wait at a safe location 2 blocks away with FBI agents guarding them. They would wait for news. They would wait and pray. But as midnight approached, Marcus started to feel something in his gut. He felt like something was wrong. He felt like the plan was not going to work. He had always trusted his instincts, and right now his instincts were screaming at him that danger was coming. At 11:45, Marcus told Sophie to stay with the FBI agents. He told her he needed to go to the bathroom. But instead of going to the bathroom, he slipped out of the back of the building quietly. He moved through the dark streets. He made his way toward the warehouse. He did not tell anyone where he was going. Marcus was not a brave man. He was a car mechanic. He fixed engines and transmissions. He packed lunches for his daughter. He was an ordinary person. He had never done anything dangerous in his life. But as he walked toward that warehouse, he felt something change inside him. He felt like a different person. He felt like a father who would do anything to protect his child. He felt like a man who would face death itself. When he got near the warehouse, he saw Agent Mitchell going inside alone. She was walking into the darkness. She was walking into danger. Marcus waited for a few minutes. Then he followed her inside quietly. The warehouse was huge and empty. It was dark except for a few lights in the middle. Marcus could see Agent Mitchell standing in the light. He could see a man holding a gun. This must be Viktor Petrov. The criminal was holding something in his other hand. It was a rope. And tied to that rope was a girl. She was small and scared. Her name was Emma. This must be Agent Mitchell's daughter. Marcus stayed in the shadows, watching and listening. His heart was beating fast. Viktor Petrov was smiling. He was enjoying this moment. He felt powerful. He felt like he had won everything. "You came alone, just like I asked," Viktor said. His voice was mean and cold and cruel. "That is good. That shows you care about your daughter. That shows you are a good mother." "Let her go," Agent Mitchell said. Her voice was strong even though Marcus could see her hands were shaking. "Not yet," Viktor said. He was walking around with the gun. He was enjoying the power. "First, you give me what I asked for. You give me the information about the evidence. You tell me where you are keeping the files. You give me the names of all the agents who are working on my case. Then maybe I will let her go." "I cannot do that," Agent Mitchell said. "You know I cannot do that. If I do, more people will die. More innocent people will be hurt." Victor's smile disappeared. His face became very angry. He raised his gun toward Agent Mitchell's daughter. "Then you both die," he said. His voice was loud. And the car mechanic's daughter will watch. She will see what happens when people say no to me. I have her too. She is safe, for now. But soon she will not be safe. Marcus heard this. He understood that Victor knew everything. Victor had been planning this whole time to hurt both children. Victor was a monster. At that moment, Marcus did something that changed everything. He came out of the shadows. He came out of the darkness and into the light where Victor could see him. Victor turned the gun toward Marcus. "Ah, the father comes," he said with an evil smile. "You could not stay away. You could not let your daughter be alone. Love for your child is very strong, yes. Let the girls go," Marcus said. His voice was calm but firm. "This is between you and me. Let them go and I will help you." "Why should I do that?" Victor asked. He was amused by this ordinary man who came to the warehouse alone. Marcus took a step closer. He was brave now. "Because I am offering you something better," he said. "Let the girls go, and I will stay. You can do whatever you want with me. I am strong and useful. I can work. I can help you escape. I can help you hide. But these girls, they are nothing. They are weak. They will only slow you down. They will only be a problem for you. Let them go." Victor thought about this. He was a cruel man, but he was also smart. He understood that Marcus was right. 2 frightened children would be a problem. But 1 strong man could be useful. 1 strong man could help him escape. "Okay," Victor said. "Okay, I like this deal. You are a smart man." He lowered his gun. He untied the rope from around Agent Mitchell's daughter. Little Emma ran to her mother. Agent Mitchell held her daughter close. She looked at Marcus with tears in her eyes. She understood what Marcus had just done. He had saved her daughter's life. "Go," Marcus told them. "Both of you go now. Run out of the warehouse and do not look back. Do not stop for anything." Agent Mitchell wanted to argue. She wanted to do something to help Marcus. She wanted to be brave too. But she also knew that her daughter Emma needed to be safe. She held her daughter's hand and they ran toward the exit. "You are a good man," Victor said to Marcus. His gun was now pointing directly at Marcus's heart. "But you are also very stupid." At that moment, everything happened very fast. The lights came on all around the warehouse. Bright lights. FBI agents came from every direction. There were agents on the ground. There were agents on the roof. Victor was surrounded by guns pointing at him. He was trapped. "Drop your weapon," the agents shouted. "Drop it now." But Victor did not drop his weapon. Instead, he became more angry. He became more desperate. He was trapped and he knew it. He knew he would go to prison for many years. He knew his life was over. So he decided to do something crazy and terrible. He started shooting wildly in all directions. He started shooting at the FBI agents. The warehouse filled with the sound of gunshots. It was loud and terrible. It was the sound of violence and death. Marcus tried to run, but he was in the middle of the fighting. Bullets were flying everywhere. He tried to reach safety. He tried to hide behind boxes and equipment. But Victor saw him. Victor was angry at him because Marcus had helped the girls escape. Victor started chasing him. Victor was shooting his gun and walking toward Marcus with anger in his eyes. Marcus knew he could not outrun the bullets. He knew he could not hide. He was a regular man in a very dangerous situation. He had made a choice to come to the warehouse, and now he had to face the consequences of his choice. Victor raised his gun and pointed it at Marcus's head. Victor was laughing. He was enjoying this. He was winning. He was about to do something terrible. But then Agent Sarah Mitchell stepped in front of Marcus. She came back into the warehouse. She stood between him and Victor. She was protecting a man she did not even know. She was being brave. "No," she said simply. Victor shot his gun 2 times. The first bullet went into Agent Mitchell's right shoulder. The second bullet went into her left side. She fell to the ground. She was bleeding. Marcus felt something break inside him. This woman had tried to help him. She had trusted him with her daughter's safety. She had come back to save him. And now she was hurt because of him. She was bleeding because she was brave. Marcus did not think. He did not plan. He simply acted from his heart. He threw himself at Victor. They both fell to the ground hard. The gun went flying across the warehouse floor. It landed far away from both of them. They struggled and fought on the cold warehouse floor. Victor was a trained killer and a strong man. But Marcus was a father. Marcus was protecting not just his own child, but also the child of another parent. Marcus was protecting a woman who had stood in front of bullets for him. Marcus was protecting a woman who was bleeding and hurt. The FBI agents moved in quickly. They separated Marcus and Victor. They put Victor on the ground in handcuffs. Victor was screaming and fighting, but he was caught. He was finished. It was over. Medical workers came into the warehouse. They helped Agent Mitchell. They gave her first aid. She was conscious. She was alive. She looked at Marcus and smiled even though she was in terrible pain. "You saved my daughter," she said quietly. "Thank you." "You saved me," Marcus said back. "You came back for me. You are very brave." Agent Mitchell was taken to the hospital. The 2 bullets had hit her shoulder and her side. She would recover, but she would need several weeks of rest and physical therapy. She would have scars. But she would live. In the hospital, Marcus visited her every single day. He brought her flowers. He brought her books to read. He brought her chocolate. He sat with her and talked to her. He told her about Sophie. He told her about his life as a single father. He told her how scared he had been in that warehouse. He told her how brave she was. Agent Mitchell told him about her life too. She told him about her daughter Emma. Emma was also 12 years old, just like Sophie. Agent Mitchell had also been alone for many years. Her husband had died when Emma was a baby. She had raised Emma alone while working for the FBI. She understood what it meant to be a single parent. She understood the sacrifices and the love. They discovered they had so much in common. They both understood what it meant to be alone. They both understood what it meant to love a child more than anything in the world. They both understood what it meant to put your child first, always. One day, while Agent Mitchell was still in the hospital, something unexpected happened. A lawyer came to see Marcus. The lawyer said that Viktor Petrov was not the only criminal the FBI had been looking for. Viktor had worked with other dangerous people. The police had finally caught all of them. The lawyer said that Marcus had been very brave. The lawyer said that because of Marcus's actions, Viktor Petrov would go to prison for many years. Viktor would die in prison. The lawyer also said something else that was very important. He said that there was a reward. Viktor Petrov's criminal organization had stolen millions of dollars from banks and businesses. The government had recovered some of this money. They were offering a reward to anyone who helped catch Viktor. They were offering Marcus $100,000. Marcus could not believe it. $100,000. This was more money than he made in 3 years. With this money, he could give Sophie everything she needed. He could buy a better house for them. He could save money for her education. He could pay for her to go to a good university. But more than the money, something else changed. After the newspaper stories came out about what Marcus had done, people started to recognize him. People started to treat him differently. People came to the garage where he worked and wanted to shake his hand. People offered to help him. Some people offered him new jobs with better pay and better hours. A local university offered Marcus a scholarship for Sophie. They said Sophie could attend their school for free because her father was a hero. They said they wanted to help her succeed. The most unexpected thing of all was what happened when Marcus was invited to speak at schools and community centers. He talked about being a single father. He talked about the importance of protecting children. He talked about how love can make you do things you never thought you could do. He talked about how one moment of courage can change everything. Thousands of people heard his story. Thousands of people were touched by his words. And many of them started to help other single parents. They started organizations. They started programs to help families who were struggling. They started charities. Marcus's story changed the whole community. 6 months after the warehouse incident, Agent Sarah Mitchell was fully recovered. She still had some pain in her shoulder and her side. She still had scars from the bullets. But she was alive and she was strong. She and Marcus had become very close during her time in the hospital and after. They had spent many hours talking and getting to know each other. They had become best friends. One evening, Marcus asked Sophie if she would like to meet Agent Mitchell and her daughter Emma. He was nervous about asking because he was not sure how Sophie would react. He did not want to push her too hard. He did not want to move too fast. But Sophie surprised him. She said, "Dad, I think that would be nice. I think Emma might be my friend. I have been thinking about her. I hope she is okay." So Marcus arranged for all of them to meet at a park on a Saturday afternoon. Sophie and Emma played together on the swings. They played on the slide. They played with a ball. They laughed and ran around. While Marcus and Sarah sat on a bench and watched them. "They are natural friends," Sarah said, smiling as she watched the girls laugh together. "It is like they have known each other their whole lives." "Yes," Marcus agreed. "Just like their parents are natural friends." Sarah took Marcus's hand. She held it gently. "Marcus, I want to tell you something. When I first called you about the kidnapping, I was so scared. I was so afraid I would lose my daughter. But I was also scared that I had made a terrible mistake in my life. I have been so focused on my work for so long that I forgot to live. I forgot to let people help me. I forgot how to be a real person. I forgot how to open my heart." Marcus squeezed her hand gently. "Sometimes we need someone to remind us that we do not have to be alone," he said. Sarah looked at Marcus with tears in her eyes. "I know this might be too fast. I know we have only known each other for a few months. But I want to ask you something very important. Would you and Sophie like to come live with me and Emma? Would you like us to try to become a real family? Would you like to share your life with me?" Marcus felt tears come to his eyes. He had been alone for so long. He had been so focused on being a good father to Sophie that he had forgotten he could also be a good partner to someone else. But now, looking at Sarah, he felt something shift inside him. He felt ready to share his life with someone else. He felt ready to open his heart again. "Yes," he said simply. "Yes, I would like that very much. I would like to spend my life with you, Sarah. I would like for our children to be sisters and brothers. I would like for us to be a real family." Sarah kissed him. It was their first kiss. It was beautiful and perfect. A year later, Marcus and Sophie moved into a big house with Sarah and Emma. The house was bright and warm. It had a big yard where the girls could play and run and be happy. It had rooms for everyone. It had a garage where Marcus could work on cars on weekends. It was a home, not just an apartment. Marcus kept his job at the garage, but he also started taking classes in the evenings. He wanted to become a mechanic supervisor. He wanted to build a better future for his family. He wanted to work hard and be successful. Sarah continued her work as an FBI agent, but she asked for different assignments. She wanted to work cases that would not require her to be away from her family for long periods of time. She wanted to be there for Emma and for Marcus and Sophie. She wanted to be a good mother and a good partner. Sophie and Emma became the best of friends. They did their homework together every afternoon. They went to school together. They had sleepovers and told secrets and laughed together. They were like real sisters. They loved each other very much. One evening, the whole family was having dinner together at their big dining table. They were eating Marcus's favorite spaghetti. They were laughing and telling stories about their day. Marcus looked around the table and saw Sophie laughing with Emma. He saw Sarah smiling at her daughter and at him. He felt grateful for everything that had happened. Even the scary and terrible things had led to something beautiful. "Dad, why are you smiling so much?" Sophie asked. Marcus reached out and took Sarah's hand. He looked at Sophie and Emma. He said, "I am smiling because I am happy. I am smiling because we are all together. I am smiling because sometimes in life, when you do the right thing, even when you are scared, good things happen. I am smiling because I have a family that I love more than anything in the world." Sophie rolled her eyes and said, "Dad, that is so sappy," but she was still smiling and she was holding her father's hand. That night, as the sun was setting and painting the sky orange and pink, Marcus and Sarah sat on their front porch together. They watched the sky change colors. They did not need to say much. They just enjoyed being together. They enjoyed the peace and the quiet and the love. Sarah said, "You know, Marcus, when I first met you, I never imagined this would happen. I never imagined we would become a family. I never imagined that out of so much pain and fear, something so beautiful could grow." "Neither did I," Marcus said. "I thought my life would always be just me and Sophie. I thought that was enough." "And now?" Sarah asked. Marcus thought about this. He thought about how scared he had been in that warehouse. He thought about how he had been willing to sacrifice everything for Sophie. He thought about how Agent Mitchell had stood in front of bullets for him. He thought about how sometimes the most important things in life come from the most difficult moments. "Now I know that love does not have to be limited," Marcus said. "I love Sophie more than my own life. But I also love Emma. And I love you, Sarah. Love does not divide when you share it. Love multiplies. It grows bigger and stronger. It becomes more beautiful." Sarah put her head on Marcus's shoulder. "That is the most beautiful thing I have ever heard," she said. They sat together in the fading light. The world was quiet and peaceful. Two people who had been alone had found each other. Two girls who did not have complete families now had families that were complete and full of love and laughter and warmth. The story of the single dad who took 2 bullets while saving the FBI officer's daughter did not end in the warehouse. That was just the beginning. The real story was about how one moment of bravery and sacrifice could change not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. Marcus taught us that a regular person can be a hero. He taught us that love is stronger than fear. He taught us that when we help others, sometimes we end up helping ourselves. He taught us that courage is not about being fearless. Courage is about being afraid and doing the right thing anyway. And most importantly, Marcus taught us that being alone is a choice, not a destiny. That being a family is not about blood or accidents of birth. Being a family is about love and commitment and choosing to be there for each other, no matter what happens. Being a family is about standing in front of bullets for each other. Being a family is about sacrifice and love and forgiveness. That is the real ending of Marcus's story. Not the shooting or the arrest or the reward money. The real ending is the love that grew out of tragedy. The real ending is the family that was built from broken pieces. The real ending is the smile on a child's face and the peace in a parent's heart. Sometimes the best stories are not about winning or losing. Sometimes the best stories are about transformation. They are about how one moment can change everything. They are about how one person's courage can inspire others. They are about how love wins in the end. This is Marcus's story. This is the story of a single father who became a hero. This is the story of an FBI agent who learned to trust again. This is the story of two girls who became sisters. This is the story of how broken people can become whole again. This is the story of how taking 2 bullets for love can lead to the most beautiful life. And if you ever feel alone, if you ever feel like you cannot go on, remember Marcus. Remember that there is always hope. Remember that love is always stronger than fear. Remember that sometimes the best things in life come from the moments when you choose to be brave.